Today is International Mother Earth Day. I cannot think of a more meaningful time to reflect on our regard for wildlife.
A royal affair is shaking the Kingdom of Bhutan. King Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuck may marry his wife's sister, a decision rooted in tradition. The queen now faces an unthinkable dilemma. Can she accept sharing her husband and throne with her own blood? Join us as we unravel this intense drama and find out which will prevail, love or culture. The nation of Bhutan. Nestled in the eastern Himalayas, Bhutan is a landlocked country in South Asia. It lies between China to the north and India to the south, with the Indian state of Sikkim acting as a barrier between Bhutan and Nepal. Despite its small size, covering 38,394 square kilometers, Bhutan is known for its breathtaking landscapes, ranging from lush subtropical plains in the south to towering mountain peaks in the north. The country has a population of over 727,145, making it one of the least populated nations in the world. It ranks 133rd in land area and 160th in population size. Bhutan is a democratic constitutional monarchy, where the king serves as the head of state and the prime minister oversees the government. In religious affairs, the Jigme holds the highest authority, guiding the practice of Vajrayana Buddhism, which is the state religion. The northern region of Bhutan is dominated by the mighty Himalayas, with peaks above 7,000 meters. Among them, Gangkhar Puensum stands as the tallest mountain in the country and remains the highest unclimbed peak in the world. The diverse geography of Bhutan supports a variety of wildlife, including rare and unique species like the golden langur and the Himalayan takin. The capital, Thimphu, is the largest city and home to nearly 15% of the country's population. Bhutan's history is deeply intertwined with Buddhism, which spread across the region alongside Tibet. Buddhism originated in the Indian subcontinent during the lifetime of the Buddha, and by the first millennium, the Vajrayana school had reached Bhutan from the southern Pala Empire of Bengal. By the 16th century, Bhutanese valleys were fragmented, each controlled by different local rulers. This changed with the arrival of Ngawang Namgyal, a Tibetan Buddhist Lama who unified the region under a single state. He successfully repelled 3 invasions from Tibet, consolidated power by bringing rival religious schools under his control, and established the Tsa Yig legal system. As the first Jabdrung Rinpoche, Namgyal became the spiritual and political leader of Bhutan, a role that would be mirrored by his successors. By the 17th century, Bhutan extended its influence beyond its borders, controlling large portions of northeast India, as well as parts of Sikkim and Nepal. The kingdom also exerted political power over Cooch Behar, a princely state in India. Despite its expansion, Bhutan maintained its independence even when other regions fell under colonial rule. The country never came under foreign control, though it did experience conflicts with the British in the 19th century. After the Doar War, Bhutan ceded the Bengal Duars to British India. Then, the Wangchuck dynasty emerged as the ruling monarchy, establishing a closer relationship with Britain. In 1910, Bhutan signed the Treaty of Punakha, which granted Britain influence over its foreign policy while allowing the kingdom to retain internal autonomy. This arrangement was later reinforced in 1949 when Bhutan signed a similar treaty with the newly independent India. Both nations mutually recognized each other's sovereignty. Bhutan's presence on the international stage grew in the latter half of the 20th century. In 1971, the country joined the United Nations and has since developed diplomatic ties with 55 nations. Though it relies on India's military support, Bhutan maintains its own defense forces. One of Bhutan's most distinctive aspects is its rich cultural heritage, which has remained largely intact. due to the country's prolonged isolation from the outside world. The traditions and customs of Bhutan are deeply rooted in Buddhist philosophy, influencing everything from architecture to daily life. Hinduism is the second most practiced religion, particularly in the southern regions of the country. The Bhutanese government takes active steps to preserve its cultural identity, which remains a key attraction for visitors. Because of its pristine landscapes and deep spiritual traditions, Bhutan is often called the last Shangri-La. Despite its appeal, Bhutan remains relatively inaccessible to many foreign tourists. While Bhutanese citizens can freely travel abroad, strict regulations are placed on foreign visitors. Tourists from Bangladesh, India, and the Maldives are permitted entry without a visa, but others must book their trips through licensed Bhutanese tour operators. A daily mandatory tariff of about $250 covers meals, accommodation, and transportation, making Bhutan an expensive destination for budget travelers. In recent years, Bhutan has gone through significant political evolution. Once ruled under an absolute monarchy, the country transitioned into a constitutional monarchy. King Jigme Khesar Wangchuck played a crucial role in this shift, transferring much of his authority to the Council of Cabinet Ministers. He also introduced a provision allowing the National Assembly to remove the king with a two-thirds majority vote. These reforms paved the way for democratic governance. The modernization of Bhutan took a significant step forward in 1999, when the government lifted its ban on television and the internet, making it one of the last countries to introduce broadcast media. In his speech, the king emphasized that while television was an important tool for progress, it could also pose risks to Bhutan's traditional values if misused. In the early 2000s, further steps were taken toward political reform. A draft of a new constitution was introduced in 2005, setting the foundation for a democratic system. In December of that year, King Jigme Khesar Wangchuck made a surprising announcement. He planned to abdicate the throne in favor of his son by 2008. However, he accelerated the transition, formally stepping down on December 9, 2006. This marked the beginning of a new era for Bhutan. The first parliamentary elections were held in two phases, in December 2007 and March 2008. These elections signified the birth of a democratic Bhutan while maintaining the monarchy as a constitutional institution. Finally, on November 6, 2008, the country celebrated the coronation of 28-year-old Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuck as the new king. His ascension symbolized Bhutan's successful transition while still preserving its deep-rooted traditions. Let's find out about the now king of Bhutan and his marital life. Bhutan's Dragon King. Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuck was born on 21 February 1980 in Kathmandu, Nepal, at the maternity hospital. He is the eldest son of Jigme Khesar Wangchuck, the fourth Druk Gyalpo of Bhutan, and his third wife, Queen Ashi Chering Yangdon. His family is extensive, as he has a younger sister, Princess Ashi Dechen Yangzom, and a younger brother, Prince Galchab Jigme Dorji. Additionally, he has 4 half-sisters and 3 half-brothers from his father's other marriages. For his early education, he attended Yangchenphug High School in Bhutan, where he finished his higher secondary studies. Later, he traveled abroad to pursue further education, first studying in the United States at Phillips Academy in Andover, and then at Cushing Academy in Ashburnham, Massachusetts. He successfully completed high school there before enrolling at Wheaton College. His academic journey did not stop in the United States. He went on to study at Magdalen College, Oxford, where he completed the Diplomatic Studies program. As the Crown Prince, he was widely known among the Bhutanese people as Dasho Khesar. From a young age, he accompanied his father on numerous tours across the kingdom. During these trips, he had the opportunity to personally meet and interact with citizens, listening attentively to their concerns and understanding their needs. In addition to his domestic engagements, he was also entrusted with representing Bhutan internationally. His diplomatic presence was notable at global events, including his first major international speech at the United Nations. On the 8th of May, 2002, at the 27th United Nations General Assembly, he addressed critical issues affecting millions of children worldwide. His participation in such significant discussions demonstrated his growing role in Bhutan's leadership. His presence was also felt at various royal and diplomatic events. On the 12th and 13th of June 2006, he traveled to Bangkok, Thailand, to attend the grand 60th anniversary celebrations of Thai King Bhumibol Adulyadej. He was among numerous royals from 25 countries who gathered to honor the Thai monarch, showcasing Bhutan's strong ties with Thailand and its respect for international relations. His father recognized his growing responsibilities and leadership abilities, awarding him the prestigious Red Scarf on 25 June 2002. This honor signified an important step in his path toward assuming greater responsibilities. The transition of power within the Bhutanese monarchy was set in motion when, in December 2005, King Jigme Khesar Wangchuck announced his decision to abdicate in favor of his son. He expressed his intention to begin transferring responsibilities, preparing the young prince for the throne. A year later, on the 9th of December 2006, the former king formally issued a royal edict declaring his abdication, officially passing the throne to Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuck. This significant event marked a new chapter in Bhutan's history. After nearly 2 years of preparation and transition, he was officially crowned on the 6th of November 2008 in Punakha. The coronation was a grand and sacred event, steeped in Bhutanese tradition and spiritual rituals. It took place at Punakha Dzong, the ancient fortress that had been the site of important royal ceremonies. Religious ceremonies and public festivities were also held at Tashicho Dzong and Changlimitang Stadium in the capital, Thimphu. The event was attended by a select group of foreign dignitaries and close friends of the royal family. Among them was the then President of India, Pratibha Patil, underscoring the strong diplomatic relationship between Bhutan and India. The celebrations extended beyond the coronation hall. The people of Bhutan welcomed their new king with overwhelming enthusiasm, decorating the streets with vibrant banners and painting signs to commemorate the occasion. Traffic circles were adorned with fresh flowers, symbolizing joy and prosperity. During the celebrations, the king was presented with silk scarves in white, yellow, red, green, and blue, each color carrying its own symbolic meaning. A few years later, while opening a session of Parliament on the 20th of May 2011, an announcement was made by the king that was met with excitement and joy. His engagement to Jetsun Pema, a young woman born on the 4th of June 1990 in Thimphu. The royal wedding took place on the 13th of October 2011 in Punakha Dzong, drawing immense public and media attention. It became the largest media event in Bhutan's history, with people eagerly following every moment of the ceremony. The wedding was deeply rooted in Bhutanese traditions, conducted with elaborate rituals and sacred blessings from the guardian deities. Following the ceremony, the newlyweds went on a royal tour of the country, receiving warm receptions wherever they traveled. During the wedding, an important moment took place when the king received the phoenix crown of the Druk Gyaltsuan from the most sacred Makan temple of the Dzong. He then placed it upon Jetsun Pema's head, formally proclaiming her as the queen consort of Bhutan. Like his father before him, the king maintains close and friendly relations with India. Over the years, he has visited the country on multiple occasions, strengthening the deep ties between the two nations. In 2013, he was honored as the chief guest at India's 64th Republic Day celebrations, reflecting the importance of Bhutan-India relations. Beyond South Asia, his influence has been felt in other parts of the world. The number of tourists visiting Bhutan saw a notable increase from 2006. His diplomatic travels continued even after his marriage. In November 2011, King Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuck and Queen Jetsun Pema made an official state visit to Japan. Their visit was especially meaningful, as they were the first state guests to be welcomed by Japan after the devastating earthquake and tsunami that struck earlier that year. Reports from Japan indicated that the royal couple was met with great admiration and fascination by the Japanese people. Throughout his reign, the king has participated in several international events of great significance. In March 2015, he and the Queen attended the funeral of Singapore's former Prime Minister, Lee Kuan Yew. In October 2017, the royal couple was also present at the funeral of King Bhumibol Adulyadej of Thailand, paying their respects to the late Thai monarch. 2 years later, they attended the enthronement ceremony of Japan's Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako, strengthening Bhutan's ties with Japan. Their presence at global royal events has continued into recent years. In 2022, they attended the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II, honoring the late British monarch. In 2023, they were among the dignitaries present at the coronation of King Charles III. These international appearances highlight the king's commitment to fostering strong diplomatic ties and maintaining Bhutan's presence on the world stage. Keep watching to find out about the king's wife, Queen Consort of Bhutan. Jetsun Pema was born on the 4th of June, 1990 at the Jigme Dorji Wangchuck National Referral Hospital in Thimphu, the capital of Bhutan. She comes from a distinguished lineage with deep-rooted connections to Bhutanese nobility and historical leadership. Her father, Dondop Gyaltsen, is a descendant of two Trashigang Dzongpons, Thinley Topgay and Ugyen Tshering, who once governed Trashigang. Their ancestral roots can be traced back to Kurto, a historically significant region in Bhutan. Her mother, Aum Sonam Choki, belongs to the Bomthang Pangte family, one of the oldest and most revered noble families in Bhutan. Sonam Choki's lineage is equally impressive. Her father was a half-brother to two prominent queens consort of Bhutan, Phuntsho Chodon and Pema Dechen. Notably, Phuntsho Chodon is the great-grandmother of Bhutan's current king, strengthening Jetsun Pema's familial ties to the royal family. Furthermore, Jetsun Pema is directly descended from Jigme Namgyal, the 48th Druk Desi and 10th Penlop of Trongsa. He was a crucial historical figure, renowned for being the father of Bhutan's first king, Ugyen Wangchuck. Additionally, he was the father of Ashi Yeshe Choden, making Jetsun Pema her great-great-granddaughter. Born into a family of 5 siblings, Jetsun Pema is the second child among them. Her eldest brother, Dasho Thinley Norbu, is married to Princess Ashi Eufelma Choden Wangchuck, the king's half-sister. Her other brother, Jigme Namgyel, shares the family's rich heritage. She also has 2 sisters, Serchen Doma and Ashi Yetso Lamo. Her eldest sister, Ashi Yetso Lamo, is married to Prince Gyaltsab Jigme Dorji Wangchuck, the king's brother. These familial connections further intertwine her personal history with Bhutan's royal family. Jetsun Pema's educational journey began in Thimphu, where she first attended the Little Dragon School, followed by the Sunshine School from 1995 to 1996. She later continued her studies at Changanka Lower Secondary School from 1997 to 1998. As part of her education, she had the opportunity to experience different learning environments, including a convent education at St. Joseph's Convent in Kalimpong, West Bengal, India, where she studied from 1999 to Irandayiram. Her secondary education took place at Lungtan Zampa Middle Secondary School in Thimphu, where she studied from 2001 to 2005. Seeking further academic excellence, she enrolled at the Lawrence School in Sanawar, Himachal Pradesh, India, in April 2006. During her time there, she focused on subjects such as English, history, geography, economics, and painting. On 31st March 2008, she successfully completed her higher secondary education. After finishing high school, Jetsun Pema pursued higher education abroad, enrolling at Regent's University London. There, she undertook a degree in international relations, a field that would later complement her role as Bhutan's queen. Alongside her major, she also studied psychology and art history as minor subjects, expanding her knowledge and appreciation for diverse disciplines. Jetsun Pema's life took a historic turn when she married King Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuck. Their wedding ceremony, steeped in Bhutanese tradition and grandeur, was held in Punakha, the ancient capital of Bhutan. The celebrations extended to Thimphu and Paro, where the people of Bhutan joyfully participated in public festivities. To honor the royal union, the Netherlands sent tulips to Bhutan, and even named a variety of tulip Queen of Bhutan in her honor. As queen, she accompanies the king on official visits, engaging warmly with local communities, students, and public servants, strengthening her relationship with the people. Beyond her role as queen, Jetsun Pema has embraced various causes with dedication and passion. She is a strong advocate for environmental preservation and serves as the patron of the Royal Society for Protection of Nature. Her commitment to environmental issues has also led to her recognition as the UNEP Ozone Ambassador. Additionally, she is deeply involved in supporting individuals with special needs and works closely with the Ability Bhutan Society. Her patronage extends to the Bhutan Kidney Association, Jigme Wangchuck Chogpa, and the Bhutan Kidney Foundation, where she actively supports initiatives that provide assistance to kidney patients. Since 2016, she has been serving as the president of the Bhutan Red Cross Society, further demonstrating her commitment to humanitarian efforts. Aside from her public duties, the Queen nurtures a variety of personal interests. She has a deep appreciation for fine arts and enjoys painting. Her love for sports, particularly basketball, has been a significant part of her life. During her school years, she was an active basketball player and even captained her team in competitions. She also participated in school bands and dance programs. In addition to Dzongkha, Bhutan's national language, she is proficient in English and Hindi. The royal couple's family grew when Jetsun Pema gave birth to their first child on 5th February 2016 at Linkana Palace. The king was present for the birth of their son, who was given the title Gyaltse. On the 16th of April 2016, his name was officially announced as Jigme Namgyel Wangchuck. 4 years later, on the 19th of March 2020, the king and queen shared the joyous news that they had welcomed their second son, also born at Linkana Palace in Thimphu. A few months later, on June 30th, 2020, it was revealed that the second Gyaltse had been named Jigme Khesar Wangchuck. On the 9th of September 2023, the royal family celebrated yet another milestone when the king announced the birth of their third child and only daughter. She was born at Linkana Palace, just like her brothers before her. A few months later, on the 9th of December 2023, her name was officially revealed to the public as Sonam Yangdan Wangchuck. Meanwhile, there's something fascinating about how the king and queen met. Destined to be. Jigme Wangchuck and Jetsun Pema are widely regarded as one of the most beautiful royal couples in the world. Their love story seems to come straight out of an enchanting fairy tale, one filled with destiny, fate, and an ending that brought happiness not just to them, but to the entire nation. In Bhutan, where belief in reincarnation and destiny is deeply ingrained in the culture, the way King Jigme and Jetsun Pema's paths intertwined from childhood to marriage only strengthened these beliefs among the Bhutanese people. At the time, Jigme was just a 17-year-old crown prince, still learning the ways of leadership and responsibility. Meanwhile, Jetsun was only a young girl of 7, blissfully unaware of the role she would eventually play in Bhutan's history. While visiting a family gathering, Jigme happened to see Jetsun playing with dolls. Something about her caught his attention. He looked into her innocent eyes and boldly said he'll take her as his wife when she grows up. 14 years passed, and fate intervened. By then, both had grown into remarkable individuals. Jetsun had pursued an excellent education in neighboring India, becoming fluent in multiple languages and immersing herself in various fields of study. Meanwhile, Jigme had expanded his horizons by attending prestigious institutions, first at Boston University in the United States and later at Oxford in the United Kingdom. His education prepared him for the immense responsibility that lay ahead. The moment came in 2006, when his father, the reigning king, decided to abdicate the throne. At just 28 years old, Jigme ascended as the youngest ruler in Bhutan's history. His reign began with great promise as he quickly gained the admiration and respect of his people. However, it wasn't just his leadership skills that captivated the nation. Soon, the country would be swept up in a royal romance unlike any other. In 2010, news spread across Bhutan that the young king had made a life choice. He had remained true to his word, seeking out the girl he had once promised to marry, even though many years had passed. With her natural charm and confidence, Jetsun embodied both the elegance of Eastern traditions and the sophistication of the Western world. The young queen-to-be possessed a rare combination of qualities, one that made it easy for Jigme to fulfill the vow he had made as a teenager. Jetsun, true to her childhood promise, had not met anyone better, and so she accepted the king's proposal. Their wedding became the most anticipated event in the country. The royal astrologers selected the most auspicious date, October 13, 2011, ensuring that the ceremony would be blessed with good fortune. When the day arrived, Bhutan witnessed a wedding steeped in centuries-old Tibetan traditions. In a country where traditions are deeply respected and public displays of affection are considered improper, Jigme did the unthinkable. He leaned forward and kissed his new bride on the lips. For those unfamiliar with Bhutanese customs, this may not seem significant. However, in Bhutan, such acts were once strictly forbidden. Some years ago, such behavior could have led to serious punishment, even imprisonment. Yet, in that moment, the king defied societal norms in a gesture of love and devotion. What was even more surprising was the reaction of the people. Instead of criticism or outrage, there was overwhelming approval. Times were changing, and Bhutan was evolving into a more open and modern society. However, the main reason for the public's acceptance lay in the deep affection they had for their king and queen. Their admiration for the royal couple was steadfast, and Jigme's genuine love for Jetsun only strengthened the bond between the monarchy and its people. Jigme and Jetsun were not just rulers, they were a couple that embodied warmth, humility, and authenticity. Even before their marriage, they would often be seen walking through the streets of the capital, Thimphu, holding hands like any other young couple in love. They would sit together at cafes, enjoying casual conversations, showing the world that they were not distant figures confined to a palace, but ordinary people at heart. This lifestyle did not change after their wedding. Instead of choosing a grand royal residence, the newlyweds opted for a simple one-story house, preferring a life of comfort rather than excess. They continued strolling through the streets, unafraid to share affectionate moments in public. Their openness endeared them even more to the people of Bhutan, who saw in them not just rulers, but relatable figures. But their love story wasn't just about romance. Jigme's love encompassed the entire nation. Determined to improve the lives of his people, he undertook efforts to modernize Bhutan. One of his major initiatives was providing land to poor farmers, allowing them to build better futures for their families. He also focused on industrial development, bringing progress to a country that had long remained isolated. Jetsun, too, played a significant role in shaping Bhutan's future. She proved to be not just a queen by title, but a leader in her own right. But would she remain the only wife of the king? The king's shocking decision. Jetsun and her husband embraced family life with joy, and in time, their love bore fruit. 5 years after their wedding, they welcomed their first child, a son named Khesar, who would one day inherit the throne. The birth of an heir brought great happiness to the royal household, but it was also a time of deep concern for the king. He was anxious about his wife's well-being during her pregnancy, unwilling to leave her side for even a moment. When the time came for their child to be born, he remained by her side, witnessing the moment their family grew. Soon, other children followed. But their love story, as beautiful as it was, faced an obstacle deeply rooted in Bhutanese tradition: polygamy. In Bhutan, the expectation of multiple spouses is not limited to men. Among the aristocracy, it is common for a man to take 3 or 4 wives, while among commoners, a woman may have 5 or even 10 husbands. For a king, the expectation is even higher. By custom, he was not only encouraged, but expected to take additional wives, typically the sisters of his first wife. Jigme's own father, King Simi, had followed this tradition faithfully. His first wife, Wang Mo, was soon joined by 3 of her sisters in marriage. Together, they gave birth to 10 royal children, ensuring the continuation of the dynasty. Jetsun, too, has 2 sisters, both as graceful and beautiful as she is, and by custom, the king could have married one of them at any time. Yet, Jigme made a decision that shocked the country. He chose to defy tradition once again. The king announced to his people that he would never take another wife. He believed that Bhutan, once ruled by unwavering customs, should now be governed by love. His declaration caused a stir throughout the kingdom, challenging centuries-old expectations. Though some traditionalists viewed his decision with skepticism, others saw it as a powerful statement about the evolving nature of the monarchy. However, tradition was not entirely ignored. The responsibility of upholding the old ways fell upon Jigme's younger brother, Prince Jigme Dorji. He stepped forward to follow the customary path, marrying one of Jetsun's sisters, Yatso Lamo. But unlike the arranged marriages of the past, this union was not merely about duty. Dorji had genuinely fallen for the intelligent and graceful Yatso, and his love for her mirrored the devotion his older brother had for Jetsun. Their wedding took place on October 17, 2013, in the picturesque setting of Domkar Dzong, a historic palace nestled in Jigme, Bhutan. The ceremony was attended by Bhutan's most distinguished figures, including all 4 wives of Dorji's father. They watched the couple with a mixture of joy and nostalgia, seeing in them a new chapter of the royal family's story, one shaped by love rather than obligation. Yatso, the daughter of Yab Dondup Gyalchen and Yum Sonam Choki, had always been close to her sister Jetsun. Now, as a princess of Bhutan, she stepped into a new role with grace. Her husband, Prince Dorji, had been inspired by Jigme's example and vowed that he too would remain devoted to one wife. Their love soon brought another life into the world. Their daughter, Ashi Decho Pema Wangchuck, born in 2014 in the town of Gyalpojing, Mongar. However, one question lingered in the minds of many. What if the king reconsiders marrying again? While Jigme had been steadfast in his decision, the unpredictability of life left room for speculation. Despite the complexities of royal life, one thing remained certain. The love story of the Dragon King and his queen was far from over. They ruled their kingdom with wisdom, embraced life with joy, and proved that love, even in the face of deep-rooted tradition, could redefine an entire nation's future. Outro. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.